Hi, all. This is Dr. J streaming live from Long Island, New York, where the weather was a little bit nippy today. But I took a vow, a New Year's resolution, not to wear one of these heavy overcoats for the entire winter. So far, so good. I got away with a sweatshirt and a vest. It was cold, don't get me wrong, but I just can't stand being weighed down by a 20-pound winter coat. All right, anyway, enough of the weather. Wall Street continues to not care about the cold. I mean, it's cold on Wall Street, but it's melting up on Wall Street. The Dow is melting up. Dr. J has been predicting a melt up for a long time. Those of you who have been with me for a long time know that. I've been predicting a melt up from Dow 20,000. And of course, we have just that. We have essentially a melt up, but you ain't seen nothing yet. It looks to me like we're first going to melt up considerably more from here. And I'll show you why when we look at the charts. Just for the short term, I think we're going to have a huge melt up. The only thing that could derail it is some kind of geopolitical event, or should the Congress actually remove the president from office, which I still think is extremely unlikely, even with recent events. So that would probably at least have a temporary effect on the markets, a negative one, of course. Snaid, how are you doing? Do you want to see Mitt Romney run for president instead of Donald J. Trump? May happen. It's not out of the question. I'm talking about 2020. I'm not talking about 2024 when he would be 98, like me. All right, in any event, before we get into stocks, Naeed, who do you like in the Tennessee Titans game? You would not like to see him, okay. Who do you like in the Tennessee Titans Kansas City Chiefs game? Let's get down to serious business. Snaid, you have an opinion on that game? 7 points, Kansas, last I looked. On Wednesday, I think it was 7.5. I don't know if Snaid is into football. But, you got to like the Tennessee Titans. You like the Chiefs. You'd like them to cover the 7, or you just like them to win? There's a big difference, of course. Hey, Clarence. Clarence is a football fan. Do you like the Chiefs to cover the 7 points on Sunday against the Tennessee Titans? Let's see what Clarence thinks about that. Titans, you're calling for an outright victory. Just my thinking exactly. Chiefs versus 49ers. Titans versus Niners. Well, you know something? I think both games, Saturday and Sunday, are both toss-ups. Forget the 7 points on both of them. I think that's the spread on both of them, right? Green Bay can surprise. Aaron Rodgers has been running around the backfield like a little kid. So, I mean, we'll see. Joe Garoppolo certainly is proven that he learned a lot sitting on the bench watching Tom Brady, right? So the Niners are for real, but Green Bay is not to be counted out in a clutch game with Aaron Rodgers. So that's of interest, but I really like the Titans. I think what's his name? Henry is another Jimmy Brown. I mean, he can carry half the team with him when he runs. And he's been nothing but amazing in the last 3 weeks, right? So they got to stop him. If they concentrate on stopping him, Ryan Tannehill will be free to pick the defense apart with short, crisp passes and even some long ones. So Ryan Tannehill is probably the comeback kid of the year, probably the most improved player of the year, and an unlikely veteran to take the Tennessee Titans all the way. Yeah, Clarence says Jim Brown. Now that's a compliment. Jim Brown used to carry the entire opposing defense with him on his shoulders as he continued to straight arm and run forward. He'd stick his hand out and say, "Get out of my way, you fly." And he'd keep on going. I mean, it was incredible. But this guy is on a roll, and he reminds me just a little bit of Jim Brown. I'm not saying he's of that caliber, but let's see if they can stop Mr. Henry this week if the Kansas City defense can stop him. But at what expense? If they stop him, it opens it up for Ryan Tannehill. I think it's going to be low scoring. I think the spread is 51 and a half or 51 on the under over. I think the last time they played, it was over 70 points, right? Kansas at Tennessee. And that was a wild game with a wild finish, Kansas City missing a field goal, or they would have won the game. So the thing is, they beat them once, they can beat them again. They're on a roll. Kansas has its vulnerabilities. Last week they went down, I think, by 20 points before creaming the Houston Texans, right? But so did Tennessee beat Houston. Tennessee beat New England. Tennessee beat Baltimore Ravens, clearly the favorite to make it to the Super Bowl. So if they can beat all those teams, why can't they beat Kansas City? I like Tennessee Titans as an upset. Yes, the 7 points is a steal, but I think they win outright, just like Clarence. Titans versus Niners is looking good. I wouldn't be shocked if it was Titans versus Packers. So Dr. J is going to put it in writing. My pick is Titans to upset Chiefs. It's now official. There's my pick. All right, you've seen it. You can call me out on it if I'm wrong. And I think an upset is very, very, very possible. And I don't know what the odds are for them to win outright, but probably pretty good if it's 7 point spread. I'm not betting the game because I don't want to bet football. It makes my gray hair grayer. I mean, I can't stand losing in the last 30 seconds. I'm too old for that. So I don't bet football. I don't know. I don't anymore. I don't have the appetite for it. But I can certainly mind bet what I would do if I were betting. Now, politically speaking, I think Trump is going to survive this impeachment proceedings in the Senate. So with that having said that, I see nothing stopping the melt up that I foresee in the market and the Dow Jones Industrial Averages. We're going to look first at the Dow. We're going to look at mbot. We're going to look at prvb, Amazon, Kronos, spce, Virgin Galactic, and others. So we'll do as many as we can in, let's say, 30 minutes. I'm going it alone today. Spice can only do Wednesdays, sad. And Jake is flying in a plane as we speak, probably from Colombia to who knows where. Jake has offices in Colombia, in Toronto and in Austin. So he's flying around. He's a busy guy. Do I remember Christian Okoye from the Chiefs? Yes, Clarence. Yes. Okay, the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes is nothing to be sneezed at. Probably the second best quarterback this year, next to Lamar Jackson, who the Tennessee Titans took care of, right? So, and the tight end is on a tear. What's his name? Kelsey. I think he made him and Mahomes connected 3 times in the second half last week. I think it was in 1 quarter, which is probably some kind of record. So I'm not taking them lightly. I know they could easily trounce Tennessee, but on the other hand, I think Tennessee is up for this game, just like they were up for the others. And it should be a great game. Either way, it should be a great game. All right, I want to share screen and get into stocks, what most of you are interested in. So let me share the screen so we can look at some charts. All right. The Dow, I drew what I call a zoom channel. Now at this point, what I really am getting excited about after being in this zoom channel since October, beginning of October, that's October, November, December, January, like almost 4 months in this zoom channel, it's first breaking out above the channel. So this is phenomenal. If it continues to do this, we will melt up to 33,000 by April. That's just an incredible move. I think it's very possible that we first gather a head of steam for the first 4 months of the year. Maybe at that point in time, we get a correction. But I see very little chance of 10% correction occurring until Dow 32,000 at least. So I'm very much more bullish than Wall Street analysts who are calling for 32,000 end of year. I mean, that's certainly possible, but I think it's going to go to 38,000 before 32. It's going to be crazy. So I think before this bull market is over, you're going to see the Russell 3000 stocks that are low capitalized zooming, doubling, tripling, quadrupling some of them. And the penny stocks are going to go wild. So all of you players out there, all you traders out there that have an appetite for the risk-on, highly leveraged stocks, I mean high risk stocks with market cap under 500 million, I think you're going to do quite well just by throwing darts, especially if you stay in the biotech arena. I think biotech will get hotter and hotter as the year goes by, at least the first half of the year. So I'm very bullish the first half of the year. Let's get to 32,000, 33,000, and then I'll reevaluate. But I think right now my call is for continued upside momentum. Dr. J is an uber bull. An uber bull doesn't mean at some point I will get negative, and I might get bearish even, but not yet. I'm not a forever bull at all. I'm not a forever bull, but I am a bull for now. So let's take a look at mbot. mbot is one that I recently got into, and I'm liking it. I don't know the fundamentals that well at all, but the chart is beautiful on mbot, and it certainly meets my speculative fervor as it's following its upward trend line, still staying within the confines of what would be a correction. So I think I'm looking forward to it breaking out of this corrective mode and challenging the high that it made on 113 of 1575. So I see it going up to that level of about 1575 before a pullback. So I'm looking forward to a retest of this particular high, which is a significant high. Of course, the most significant high is its all-time high. I don't know if it's all-time, but the high of the year 2015, back on the 24th of December. Okay, the day before Christmas, it went crazy, didn't it? There was some Christmas present for shareholders. Would I be adding here? Yeah, why not? I mean, if I'm thinking it's going to go up to 15 level, why not add right now? Break below this candle's, well, a break below this low would probably get me out. That would be the 10, let's see, this would be 1058. So break below 1058 would give me pause, but I don't think it's happening. I think we're going to continue with the bullish momentum on mbot. Of course, it's in line with my bullish forecast for the entire market. Prvb, I've been asked by a few people to chart this one. Type 1 diabetes drug. FDA says you don't need a phase 3 trial. Phase 2 is good enough. So it's had a fantastic run. Fantastic. And the question is, can it continue this run? After hours, 1710. So it's continuing as we speak. Let's just draw what's obvious. The trend line. Actually, you can draw one from the 200, from the time it left from the time it's last touched the 200. Well, maybe not quite. You could draw one from here. This looks like a good trend line. And look how high above the trend line we're accelerating. So this is a phenomenal move. I mean, a truly phenomenal move for a low cap biotech. Will it continue? I'm not, I mean, right now, I can't see any reason not to, but let's take a look at the weekly. Maybe we get a better clue. Okay, so we took out, oh, look at this pop back here in June. Wow. 2282. There must have been news that day. And it came all the way back down to the 50-week moving average, that is, at 561. And we've run right back up almost to that high. So the question is, can we take out that high that we set in June? Let's just draw it in. All right, so that's what we're shooting. We're shooting for the moon here, 2280. If you're in this one, you're looking to take that out and probably get bought out. I think there's buyout fervor on this one. It's, I think, a thin float. I think it's a low market cap stock. Not sure exactly what the market cap is, but I believe it to be that. And we're in overbought territory right now, according to my calculations of the RSI. I use 70. It's at 78. So we're clearly overbought. Volume has been a little bit anemic, which I don't like on this run up. So are we vulnerable to a correction here? Yes, we certainly are vulnerable, but look how long it traded above the 70 mark in overbought territory back here in June. It traded quite considerable long time in overbought territory. But all that time, it started to trend down. So you got to be careful here. If you see that it starts to trend down, I would be looking at this midpoint of this big green candle for support, corresponding to the high back here in June 24th. So I'd be looking for this level for support. Let me see if I can get that in here. It's not letting me draw it. There we go. Push it down. Well, actually, I like it a little lower, midpoint of that big green candle. Say right about here. Okay, right about the high of July 15th, 13 and a quarter, maybe a little bit lower. So I'd be looking at about 13.15 or a little bit lower for support. If it breaks that, then I would be very leery if it gets as low as the open that day of 1147. So I mean, it's a long ways down, but I would be looking again for support right at this $13 level. Can it pull back to $13? Of course it can, because it's overbought, it's been extended, it's had a long run. It's probably a buying opportunity if it does come back to the $13 level. Would I be selling it now if I owned it? Probably not. But if I owned it from below the 13 level, then I probably wouldn't want to stay with it below that. So $13 might be my stop, right around there. I see it, on the other hand, I see that 13, 15 level as a possible entry point if you're not in this, with a stop at about 11. So the true stop is about 11, but if I had profits, I might take them. I might take a few shares off the table now with this huge run up. So I mean, if I got in the 5s, 6s, 7s, I'd probably take something off the table here. Why not? Take something off the table would be my opinion, and let most of it ride, I guess. That's what I would do. I don't own it, so I'm trying to think of how I would react to this chart, to the little that I know about the fundamentals and so on. So I would take a little off the table, keep the bulk of it. Let's take a look at this point, the market cap. The market cap is more than I thought, 800 million. Okay, I mean, that's not a huge market cap. And if this thing if their drug gets approved and the company bought, then that market cap could easily go up to double or triple, depending on the intrinsic value of that drug, which I don't know. Okay, so I'm talking a lot about a company I don't know too much about with respect to fundamentals, just trying to get a picture based on the chart. If anybody wants to enlighten me with respect to fundamentals, please do. I'm going to just stop screen sharing for a second, I think. Let's see here. Just want to get an idea. Jigglypuff is talking to Lynn. Let me get in. I just want to stop sharing screen for a moment so I can interact with Lynn and Jigglypuff and others. So let me stop screen sharing, and then I'll get right back to it. I want to come back to say hi to everybody. Okay, so cabinet guy, Titans for the upset. I agree. Cabinet guy agrees with me on that. From the Green Mountain state of Vermont. And we have Jigglypuff talking to Lynn, asking where Spike is tonight. Spike has advised me that he's going to be doing Wednesday nights. Jake hopefully will be doing Friday nights. And Dr. J will do both. So that's the schedule. Okay, so Lynn is actually on time, right, Lynn? You came early. Jigglypuff says hi to Lynn. And what else? Who else is on? That's Newell is on. Newell Chen. Yeah, that's right. Newell is reiterating what I said about Spike only joining us on Wednesdays. And I'm looking for a sports aficionado to join me on Fridays that also likes stocks. And if you're such a person and you want to come on, let me know. Okay? All right. So I'm going to go back to sharing screen. I just wanted to check up on who was writing comments. And Jigglypuff, oh, to the moon. Let me just put that down. Jiggly, to the moon, Tandem. Tandem to the moon. I agree. Tandem, it looking like $100 stock, at least. Tandem has been one of my favorites, and shamefully, I own 0. Ooh, I think I'm going to correct that. Even if I don't, get maximum benefit. I was in it. What was I in it? 60. I was in it 40. I kept going in and out of it. I should have just stayed in it. Okay. Lynn says hi to me. Says, I love you. I love you too, Lynn. I love all of you. There's plenty of love going around. Jacqueline Nicholas. Hi, Dr. J. Love you. Love you back, Jackie. Can I call you Jackie? A lot of Jacquelines don't like to be called Jackie. And although Jacqueline Kennedy did, she liked to be called Jackie, right? All right, most famous Jacqueline I know is Jacqueline Kennedy. All right, so let me get back to the sharing of the screen. I don't want to be on all night. So we talked about We talked about a few stocks. We talked about the Dow. We talked about mbot. We talked about prvb. Well, up to Amazon on my list. Amazon, it's always time to buy Amazon. When in doubt, buy Amazon. Dr. J, what did Dr. J do today? You got it. I bought some Amazon, adding to my collection. I am convinced that Amazon will outperform the Dow by August. So we're in a Zoom channel for Amazon, although I drew the line a little crooked. But nevertheless, we are in a Zoom channel. Let me see if I can, probably by trying to fix it, I'll mess it up even worse. Yeah, probably. That looks pretty good, actually. So we're in a Zoom channel. We're at the lower end of the trend line, which made me buy. So we're also not far from the 50. If we go down to that 1806 level, Dr. J will break open the piggy bank and buy more Amazon. Amazon, in my opinion, will be $3,000 by the end of 2020, barring, of course, barring the SEC coming down hard on it, barring Donald Trump looking to get even with Jeff Bezos by going after Amazon. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I don't think it will, but it's always in the back of my mind as an Amazon investor. But it's in a Zoom channel. To me, today was a buying opportunity. Let's see what happens. Again, I have reserved cash to buy more. I'm looking forward to cashing in at $3,000 a share. Kronos. Of course, do your own due diligence. My opinions are strictly my own and do not constitute investment advice. Neither do any of my guests' opinions. Neither does Spike's opinion. Neither does Jake's opinion. Neither does Clarence's opinion, or Jigglypuff, or anybody else. Jigglypuff's opinion is that Tandem is going to the moon, and he very well may be right. I don't disagree. I'm with you, Jigglypuff. I'll probably have to buy a little Tandem because I'm going to be jealous of you otherwise. That's not true, by the way. I never get jealous of anyone, especially my viewers. Kronos. Kronos is my favorite pot stock, and I got my money where my mouth is on Kronos. So I have the most money riding on Kronos of any pot stock. And I took my lumps on it, being my average is probably somewhere in the low teens. So I've been getting killed. I haven't been buying it lately, but I should have been. Look at the candle today. So this is a phenomenal candle. We have clear support down here. I'm liking the pot sector. We've been getting some really nice moves in the pot sector. So we have nice support right in this area. That would be the 615 area. I know that's a couple of points below where we are, 25% below where we are. But still, it's clear support. I'm looking to buy more finally. I'm convinced that this move is for real. I've been faked out by other moves, but I'm looking to buy on a pullback to this area right here. Let's say 795 level, something like that, or maybe a little lower. I like the midpoint of big green candles for a pullback. So you've been watching me long enough. You know what my thinking is. I get a big green candle. I figure we're going to get a pullback and then buy. Sometimes I miss the move as it continues on up, but more often than not, I don't chase and I get my price. So I like Chronos, I like the sector, I like CGC, which has been nothing short of sensational. I like VFF, which I promised to buy and still haven't. I guess, you can only buy so many different stocks. I own quite a few pot stocks. VFF, I don't want the weekly on this. I want the daily. What's going on? What is going on? Why am I not seeing anything? All right, there's got to be a reason. Is this really the graph? See VFF? I guess so. Okay, RSI is right in the middle, 52. There's room for it to run higher. It seems to have bottomed nicely 5 days ago. That would be the beginning of the week on Monday. It bottomed at 516 and has been running since. It's still relatively low. Let's take a look at the weekly. What is going on again? It's hard for me to see anything here. I don't know what I'm looking at. All right, this chart is befuddling me. All right, I give up. I have no idea why it's coming out like this. Let's take a look at the 4-hour chart. All right, that looks more like a chart. All right, so the 4-hour shows a huge green candle. That looks like it happened yesterday, right? 1:15. It happened on Wednesday. So where to buy? Where should Dr. J look to get in? Probably the middle of this big candle. I always like that kind of rule. So middle of this candle from the open to the close. It opened at 5:59, closed at 6:42. Around $6 is probably a fair price to pay. And today its range was 610 to 627. So I'm looking to get in probably at around $6. I'm pretty sure I'll get that on some kind of weakness. I want to own this one. I think there's enough reason to own this one. So I own so many others. I think it would be silly for me not to own this one. And I'm not saying that if you don't own any, this would be the one to own. But I'm saying if you own a few of them, like I do, I think this one has to be in your portfolio. So it has to be in my portfolio. So I'm saying basically a pullback to just above the 50 would be a good entry point on the 4-hour chart. The 50 being 593 on the 4-hour chart. This is one of the chart of the daily was befuddling me. So this one just looks much easier to read. I don't usually use a 4-hour chart, but in this case, it seems to clarify things. And on whatever day this was, we had that low at 516. Probably Monday, right? Yeah, it must have been Monday. All right. So we made this big move, and I think we're coming back down to retest the 50 period moving average on the 4-hour chart. So $6, 593, whatever, looks like an entry point to me. I'm very, very bullish pot. I'm very, very bullish biotech. I'm very, very bullish the Dow. I'm very, very bullish the Russell 2000, the Russell 3000, the S&P 500, and the Qs. Did I leave anything out? Let's take a look at SPCE. And this one is Virgin Galactic. It has a market cap of $3 billion. It's sort of a cult stock. It's the Tesla of aerospace, and probably competing with Tesla's, with Elon Musk's company. Virgin Galactic. The dream is to have rocket ship type planes in production in a few years that will make the SST look slow, and probably to do things like mine gold on the moon. I mean, this is a dream stock, but it's captured the imagination of many, many dreamers, including Dr. J, who is now a proud owner of SPCE. I'm looking to run it up to about 150. It's a crazy stock. I mean, it could collapse to 5, or it could go to 150 just as easily. So I'm in it on pure spec right now. Am I a true believer? No, but I believe it's hot, hot, hot. It could be another Beyond Meat or whatever you call it. So let's give it a shot to play this one. That's how I look at it. I'm in for the swing. I'm not without an exact target, and I'll probably be looking to add more. So I got in recently, I think at 15-ish, which is, meaningless, because if it runs, it'll run very big, and if it collapses, it'll collapse very big. Right now, it looks very bullish to me, the chart, so I'm in it. There were a bunch of other stocks that I mentioned. Lynn is correcting Jiggly about her name. Yes. All right. Jigglypuff says America loves Dr. J. Dr. J loves America. I am a super patriot. Do you notice that my signature begins with the American flag? Dr. J loves America, the greatest country on earth. So yeah, if America loves Dr. J, it's reciprocal. Let me take a look what's going on with my friends. What's going on, friends? Did I miss anything? Did I miss CVM? Did I miss ATHX? I certainly did. I will chart them and then I'll finish up. Anybody else have anything that you really want me to chart? Those are my two biggest holdings. CVM is my most exciting holding right now. All right, so let's go to Yes, Lynn has one. What do you got, Lynn? What do you have for Dr. J to look at? BA. Kamal has BA. I will definitely look at BA. All right, so REGI and BA. All right, REGI, or is that an L? I think it's an I, right? I think I looked at that once before, right, Clarence? All right, so BA and REGI, and then my two favorites, and we'll probably call it a night. Let's go back to space, and then we'll go to BA. All right, so BA has come off its all-time highs. The question is, I suppose, Kamal, that you own it, or maybe you're looking to get into it, I don't know. But the question is, will it run? I mean, certainly if we have problems in the Middle East, I think it might help BA in terms of aircraft. I don't know, because they're not really into that. But BA, the chart of BA is probably more up my alley than the fundamentals, as I don't really follow it. But, you know, I'm very bullish the Dow. And one theory is you play the dogs at a Dow, right? So this was probably right now one of the dogs of the Dow. Is half the Dow stocks are at new highs. So let's just draw in the low of the recent low. I think it's the low of the year. So the recent low is what? 320-ish. And the recent high, let's just draw the upper trend line, which is taking us in the downward direction. And let's draw a parallel one here, actually here. Trying to get a little parallelism. All right, so we have a downward sloping channel, and we're breaking below it. You know, I don't know. I can't say that I like the chart offhand. So aren't there better things to put your money in right now, even amongst the Dow? I know most of the Dow stocks you feel like you're chasing, and this one you feel like you're getting a bargain. But maybe there's a reason why you're getting a bargain. So I would probably not buy this one if I had serious money to invest. That's just my opinion off the chart. I don't like these long negative channels like this. So, you know, and then if it breaks support, what do you do? I don't like this. Not for Dr. J, in my opinion. Not one to go into. REGI, let's take a look at that one. I hope it's an I, not an L. Let's see what the L stands for. No, it's an I. Renewable energy. This one had a huge pop back on 12/17. It went from the close of $20 to an open of $23.97, based on some sort of news, I'm sure. And it's really held that low. It's held that low. So it did go slightly below it, testing the 50. We're now in a 4-hour chart. Let me get back to the daily. I guess I was looking at a 4-hour chart on Boeing, but that doesn't matter. I still don't like it. So let's draw the support area on this one. What I hate about these kind of stocks that pop like that is a tendency to want to fill the gap. I'm not saying this one will, but you always worry about that. I don't know why I got these extraneous lines. what this line is doing. Can't seem to get rid of this line. All right, I'll leave it. All right, so this would be the low at 23.92, and we came close to that on Monday. We made a low of 24.31, and since then have come up off of it, but today was an ugly candle. And we're coming off of the highs from 1.3. Let's just draw that upper trend line along the trees, or the highs. I call them the trees. Whoops. All right, it's close enough. So we're consolidating clearly. Now, we may very well retest this $23, $24 area and then break out. So if you like this one, you want to let it show you by breaking out of this period of consolidation. I wouldn't chase it. Let it consolidate. If it breaks below this line, stay away. If it breaks above this line, I guess you go in. I mean, you're always in danger, if it breaks below this line, of filling this gap at $20. And that would be an ugly hit. So, you know, again, I don't know the fundamentals. I don't know why it jumped like that, but I'd be careful of this one. Let it consolidate further. Show you, I would make it show me by breaking through this upper trend line, breaking out of this triangle. Break below the triangle, I'd be pretty nervous, because you have that magnetic pull to filling the gap. So I wouldn't short this. I wouldn't go long. I'd be watching on this one. That's my opinion on that one. So Boeing, I have no interest in buying, and this one, I'd be if I had an interest in buying it, I wouldn't yet, in my opinion. So that's where we are. I want to chart. Well, let me go back to Jacqueline says, any updates with price projection for Amarin? I could chart Amarin too, but I'm going to be on all night. So let me come back. Chart beyond. Wow. Oh, Dr. J is getting tired. All right, I'm going to try to chart those beyond and Amarin. And why not? I visited a plant for IBM to work on a server at Boeing. Boeing is huge in weapons. They did, yeah, okay, Star Wars for Bush. So in other words, if we have a flare up in the Middle East, then Boeing would be a stock to be in. But I wouldn't want to bet on that, so I'd rather not go into Boeing. I think there's better places. But let me go back to share screen. I want to accommodate as many people as I can. So Amarin and beyond, right? Even if I don't chart CVM and athx, you know, I'm super bullish on both. So I may not chart them in favor of Beyond and Amarin. I actually want to chart mtnb tonight because Dr. J took a position in it. I'm excited about it. It popped after my buying it. But all right, Beyond. Dr. J has become vegan again, so I should be interested in this one, right? All right, it's sitting at the 100-day moving average. The 50 is below that. Looks like an interesting time to buy as it's been on a run and a little pullback is healthy. Yeah, I see the chart's fine. I mean, it's not the greatest looking chart, but you're getting a little curvature in the 50. I like that. And you're no longer in overbought territory, although it's close. Yeah, I might take a chance on Beyond at this point, looking for a continuation past the high from the 14th of January. This one could run again above 135. Yeah, I think it's playable here. I also like when you have a big green candle, I like where it stopped right in the middle. Let me just draw that in. So I'm a believer in support in the midpoint of those big green candles. And I think we got that right here. So did it stop in the right place? Yes. Do I like it? Yes. I think it's the company to be in at this point. And a stop below this candle here. So the stop would be below, let's say, 98. It's an interesting play. And what was the other one? Beyond and, oh, my memory is getting bad. Beyond and Amarin. AMRN. Maybe I can do a couple real quick. Amarin pulled back and now is finding the 50 to be resistance. I do like the fact that we crossed the 100 back here in November. We made a huge move off of that, though. So, I think this pullback is probably okay, playable. I mean, it held the 200-day moving average right here, and the 100 just crossed the 200, which is bullish. And we're forming a new upward trend line. And the fact that a Casti flubbed is not hurting Amarin any, not hurting mtnb any. So there we go. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Amarin at this point. My projection and price would be $21 as it hits a 50. So $21, you might find some resistance. We found resistance last time at around that level. So a move to $21 is very likely, as I see the entire market melting up, in the biotechs in particular. Why not Amarin? Why not? It looks okay to me at this level. Stop below the 100 would be my stop. 1834. And if we break this 50-day moving average, then I think we can do quite well, get a big move. There's always the buyout possibility at 35, in my opinion. So I like Amarin. I'm in Amarin. I didn't sell any Amarin. Fortunately, I had sold most of my Casti prior to the hit. All right, what about mtnb? mtnb, another fish oil company. This is a fishy stock. And I bought it pretty close to the lows here, at pretty good timing. A little above the lows, but not much. We're getting a nice little upward move. It closed below the 50, which is now resistance. It closed above the 50, and I think this thing can fly. So watch it, let it close above the 50, and then I'll add to my position. Right now, we have a new trend line going, which is nice. Very sharp curve. So the trend line is maybe not quite that sharp. I overdid it. Well, whatever. Something like that. Okay. Dr. J is very bullish mtnb, very bullish Amarin, very bullish athx, very bullish CVM. Athx had a little setback because of a shelf registration for up to 100 million shares, and that always dampens stocks' move. Otherwise, I think it would have been flying already. But with that shelf registration, it didn't fall back that much. So I'm very bullish. Very bullish biotech, very bullish athx, very bullish CBM, very bullish Amarin. I'm very bullish the market. What could I say? In other words, buy, take your darts and throw it at the board. I think it's that kind of market. Adios, amigos, hasta luego, au revoir, arrivederci, shalom, sayonara, ciao. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and give me a thumbs up. If you can give me 2 thumbs up, I'll take it. Night all.